took a day over 12,000.
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
Dmc Devil May Cry. What an interesting game. Can we take a second to talk about it, because it's really not that bad. It's a solid character action game with good combat and a decent soundtrack, so why does everyone hate it? Well, truth be told, there are multiple reasons to hate Dmc Devil May Cry, and all of them are valid, to be honest. Whether it be the redesigns of Dante and Virgil, the reduced difficulty of the combat, or the game's less than stellar story. So in this video I'm going to explain why this game was made in the first place, go into more detail into why everyone hates it, and say whether it deserves the hate or not. So keep watching if you're interested. Also like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1k subs before the end of 2023, nigga. Wait, I mean 2024. Fuck. In 2008, after the release of Devil May Cry 4, Capcom was looking to do something new with the franchise, and the reason for this was kind of stupid. When DMC 4 was released, Capcom had high expectations for it sales-wise. It was the first Devil May Cry game to be released on consoles other than the PlayStation, so Capcom assumed that this would result in a massive sales boost. And it did result in a sales boost, it just wasn't as big as they thought it would be. The game came out and got great sales for a relatively niche franchise, selling 2.3 million copies by the end of its launch year, making it the highest selling Devil May Cry game ever at that point. But unfortunately, these weren't the sales numbers that Capcom was expecting, so they saw them as lackluster and underperforming. This, among other reasons like the convoluted nature of DMC's story and longtime series director Hideki Itsuno stepping down, is why Capcom decided to do something new with the franchise. And that new thing that they decided to do was handing the IP over to a new developer. Yup, they were outsourcing the game. Keep in mind, this wasn't the first time Capcom had outsourced the development of one of their games. As a matter of fact, this was something they did a lot in the late 2000s. Games like Dead Rising 2, Lost Planet 3, and the Strider reboot were all developed by Western studios in the hope that it would help those games reach a Western audience. Capcom did all this outsourcing because it increased the output of their games but decreased the time and money they would spend on development. And this strategy kind of worked until it didn't. But all that's besides the point. Capcom decided that they were going to outsource the development of the fifth Devil May Cry game, so the main question at hand was what studio were they going to give the IP to? Well, the answer is Ninja Theory, a relatively small British game studio that at the time had only developed 2 games, those being Heavenly Sword and Enslaved, Odyssey to the West. They also developed a game called Kung Fu Chaos for the Xbox, but the less said about that game, the better. So why did Capcom pick them? I mean, no hate to Ninja Theory, but surely there were other more experienced and well-known Western studios that Capcom could have chosen. Well, on paper, Ninja Theory had everything that Capcom was looking for. They were a Western-based studio that had a focus on story-based hack-and-slash games, and due to the size of the studio, they probably weren't that expensive. So that was it. Ninja Theory was chosen, and the development process of the next Devil May Cry game had started. But that's when another question arose. What are we going to do with Dante? You see, one of the other reasons that Capcom wanted to take the series in a new direction is the fact that the DMC writers had kind of been writing themselves into a hole for the past decade. They genuinely had no idea what to do with Dante next. I mean, that was the whole reason why Nero was created. They had no idea what to do with Dante after DMC 3, so they created a new, weaker, and less experienced character to make the story more interesting and put Dante in the mentor role. Unfortunately, all they ended up doing was making another Dante, which kind of defeated the whole purpose of it. So because of this, Capcom wanted to reboot the series, giving Ninja Theory full creative control to do what they want with the IP. So they did. And in January of 2013, published by Capcom and developed by Ninja Theory, Dmc Devil May Cry was released to mixed reviews to say the least. Dmc Devil May Cry. Where do I start with this game? Once again, I don't think Dmc Devil May Cry is a bad game. It just isn't, and that is a hill that I will die on. I think that the main thing that fucked over Dmc Devil May Cry was the fact that it's Dmc Devil May Cry. It suffers heavily from the fact that it's a reboot of a beloved franchise. Let's pretend that the Devil May Cry franchise didn't exist and that Dmc Devil May Cry was a brand new IP. People would say that it's a good game. Word for word, this is what people would say. Oh, Dmc Devil May Cry? Yeah, cool game. Story's corny as fuck though, but it's a fun game. That's exactly what people would say. The fact that it's a Devil May Cry reboot drags it down so much, but enough beating around the bush. Why was this game a bad reboot? Well, first of all, the new Dante redesign is just kind of meh, appearance-wise and personality-wise. Focusing on his appearance, this new Dante is just, well, boring. The white hair is gone, the red drip is gone. Now all he has is a wife beater and a trench coat, with a Union Jack. What the fuck is this? I understand that they were trying to make a modernized version of Dante's attire and Capcom wanted a Dante that appealed to a younger demographic, but who the fuck is this appealing to? Kids don't wear this shit. Young people don't dress like this. Dante's model was inspired by Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight films as they wanted to make the character more realistic. And that's fine, but being realistic doesn't mean he has to look like a fucking goober. But if I'm being honest, I care less about his appearance and more about his personality, because it pisses me off. To give credit where credit is due, Dante's appearance in this game is completely new, but his personality isn't. It's like they tried to keep the wisecracking wittiness from the old games, but they also tried to make him cool and edgy, but it doesn't work. Instead of being a lovable goofball like in the older games, he just comes off as a dick. an unfunny dick. Like, this looks like the type of guy that sells cigarettes to kids. This Dante looks like he sells fentanyl to kids. And it's interesting because the original Dante design for this game wasn't supposed to be like this. Before this, we had a redesign that was similar, but better in my opinion. This Dante seemed more darker and fucked up and shit, and I'm sure people still would have hated him, but here's my thing. If you're gonna reboot the franchise, then reboot the franchise. Show us a Dante we've never seen before, instead of just giving us a worse version of the Dante we know and love, and a Virgil that she's pregnant with. And that brings me to the story. It's not good. I don't have much to say about it, but it's just not good at all. It revolves around Dante living in this world called Limbo City, which is like secretly controlled by demons and shit, which is, that's kind of real to be honest, hashtag real. But yeah, Dante still has the same backstory, instead this time his mom is an angel, making him a Nephilim, the child of a demon and an angel. So he's just chilling being a bum in a trailer when this girl tells him to come meet her boss, and then fuck shit happens, and then he meets her boss and, oh, what? Wait, her boss is Virgil. That's crazy, guys. Look, it's Virgil from the Special Edition series. But yeah, it's just not good. Characters that weren't fleshed out at all, shitty dialogue, well, except for this.
Keep waiting. And I got a bigger dick.
I actually like this. And overall, just a boring, uninspired story. And the twist at the end was just fucking stupid. Like, yeah, it was unexpected, but that doesn't make it good. Okay, spoiler alert, but at the end of this game, after beating the big bad boss, this nigga Virgil does a complete 180 and is like, okay, now that the demons are no longer in control, we should be in control because humans fucking suck and demons suck, but we're like demons and angels, which are kind of like humans, so we're the best, and also fuck humans, they suck. They basically just revealed to us out of nowhere that Virgil is a racist and doesn't like humans at all, and that the whole reason for his demon fighting group was so that he and his brother could take over the world. This isn't good writing. There was nothing leading up to this. There was no hint that he was like this. It just came out of nowhere. This is not good writing, bro. I'm sorry, but it just isn't. Also, at the end, after Dante beats Virgil, his hair turns white. And I guess this was supposed to be like some sort of reference to the original and like pay homage or some shit like that, but it just seemed like a massive middle finger to fans of the franchise. But anyway, now that this shit is out of the way, let's talk about a part of the game that I feel like doesn't get enough recognition: the gameplay. I'm sorry, I know a lot of you Devil May Cry fans probably don't want to admit it, but this game is fun. The game plays similarly to other DMC games where you have your sword and guns and you got fucking launchers and shit, but the game does something interesting with its angel and demon weapons. Instead of just straight up switching weapons, holding down one of the triggers will change Dante's weapon from Rebellion to either an angel weapon or a demon weapon. Left trigger gives you access to slow, high damage weapons like his Axe Orbiter and his Gauntlet's Oryx. And right trigger gives you access to fast weapons with lots of reach like his Scythe Osiris or his Ninja Shuriken things called Aquila. Aquila? Is this Spanish? What the fuck? Akia? Like, let's just be real, guys. These weapons were fun as fuck to use, man. Being able to switch from Rebellion to multiple different weapons in one combo was fun as fuck, and the enemy design also helped bring out the versatility of his weapons. Like enemies that could only take damage from his demon weapons, or enemies that needed to be shot with a certain gun. The weapons in this game are cool as hell, aesthetics-wise and gameplay-wise, and being able to switch between them so smoothly makes the game's combat extremely satisfying. And they also did something else that was interesting by giving Dante his own Devil Bringer. Well, not really, but like kind of. Dante is able to do a demon pull that pulls his enemies towards him and an angel lift that pulls him towards his enemies. Like, just think about it, bruh. Gameplay wise, this nigga is the perfect combination of Dante and Nero, with the weapon versatility and like the ease of use and goodness and combo savingness of the arm push and pull shit. Just like the angel and demon weapons, there are certain enemies that need to be angel lifted or demon pushed, and once again, it helps make the combat become less stale and stops it from getting boring and tired. Yeah, I'm gonna be fucking honest. Thinking about this shit makes me want to play this game again, bro. I might have to buy it on Steam after I finish this video. And I'm still not done. There's also the Angel Evade that, if you time it correctly, allows you to phase in a certain direction, and the Demon Evade that gives you extra damage if you time it correctly. And stuff like this that just makes me love the combat in this game and just makes it more complex. Not even complex, but just more versatile and interesting. And and the thing that's so great about it is that it's actually useful stuff. Like in Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, for example, the items in that game are fucking useless because there's no point in using them. Whereas in this game, like, their abilities and weapons and shit that they give you is useful and helps you with certain enemies and just helps your fucking score go. It's great. It's good. I'm sorry, but it's fantastic. I know I complained about Dante in this game being a shitty copy of the OG Dante, but when it comes to the gameplay, I feel like the developers at Ninja Theory really did their research and put effort into making a new and unique combat experience that still includes certain mechanics from the old games with mixed new mechanics. Should I say it? Nah, I don't give a fuck. I really think that you can argue that DMC Devil May Cry's combat is better than DMC 4's combat. And you know what? I don't even care. I'm going to commit to it. My next Devil May Cry video is going to be titled, Is Devil May Cry better than DMC4? And I don't know what the answer is going to be yet. I'm actually considering which one is better, so be prepared for that. I mean, I know that DMC4 isn't the most popular game in the franchise, but I probably shouldn't have said all that. But you get the point. DMC Devil May Cry is in no way a bad game. I mean, the game part of the game is fun and incredibly enjoyable, but the problem is everything else surrounding the game. Understandably quite hard to separate all of the game's bullshit from the game, so I see why people hate it. But guys, it's been 11 years. Can we admit it now? DMC Devil May Cry is not a bad game. And I'm not going to do what every other YouTuber does where they say, oh, the story mode is horrible and the gameplay isn't even that good, so overall it is a bad game. Like, no, DMC Devil May Cry is my favorite DMC game. Okay, that's not true, but I still like playing it even if the story is shit. So does DMC Devil May Cry deserve the hate? You know what? No, it doesn't. I'm sorry, but this game really isn't that bad. It's not bad at all. A shitty story and bad character redesigns isn't enough to make me hate this game. You know what's crazy? Halfway through making this video, I didn't even realize this was going to be the outcome. But as I was writing the script and remembered the game, I remembered that I really liked it. So sorry guys, but DMC Devil May Cry, in my opinion, does not deserve the hate. Oh, that was a banger. I can sense the 1K in less than a week incoming. Is this going to be top 5 of my channel? Who knows? You know what? I want to know how many fucking death threats I'm gonna get with this one. And you know what? I'm actually just being a cornball. I don't think it's actually gonna be that bad of a reaction because I feel like people agree with me in this one, unless they don't. Comment your opinions down below. I don't fucking know. Is this gonna be the next Dante and DMC4 sucks? Is this gonna be the next DMC video I post that fucking still gets people commenting and calling me a goober after 2 years? Shit, maybe, but I don't really care. Like, I really might be overacting, but I feel like I'm just standing on business, bro. The DMC fan base just dick sucks the fuck out of this game, and I understand why they do it, but I also see the good parts of it, and I feel like the goods overweigh the bad. Like, let's be for real, you've never played a game with a shitty story before. You've never played a game and just been enjoying the combat, and then a cutscene comes up and you just skip it and go back to enjoying the combat, because that's what it was for me. Except I didn't skip the fucking cutscenes because I don't know, it's DMC. I'm still gonna watch it regardless. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying my shitty DMC takes with no remorse because I don't fucking care anymore. My highest viewed video has people saying I'm a fucking you know what I'm saying? Like, people hate my highest viewed video, so I don't care. I'm just gonna say my opinion. And yeah, if you agree with me, then like and subscribe. This was your boy Jugo Young, and as always, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.